Well, welcome back to our third segment where we talk about our numbers, Dad's numbers, my numbers, and the VOMP numbers. So John's going to be here in just a moment. So once he comes in, he'll give a little wave.
He's here.
Oh, he's here. Why don't you give a little wave to it if you don't mind? There it is. There's his arm.
Just so we know there's a real live person that's talking to us.
Yeah,
I'm here.
And he's on our new mic.
Yeah, he's floating, like we said. His voice is just floating out there everywhere.
Boy.
So
There we go.
Yeah,
We're
he's
good?
on mic.
All right.
Yeah, just nice and tight there. And it was just, our podcast is just growing.
Yeah.
Just leaps and bounds. I mean, we've got so much money pouring in that we just decided we got to upgrade. We got to buy more things.
so much money was coming in, we just had to get rid of the money. It's just, what do we do with it? So, well, why don't what we do is we'll start with John's numbers for VOMP and get the exciting stuff out of the way, and then we'll go to the more boring stuff.
Yeah.
So, all right, Johnny, whenever you're ready.
Okay. So we had 71 warm responses this week.
Is that a record?
I feel like it's got to be
That's
close.
a lot.
I mean, I don't remember.
A lot of,
Yeah.
A new record.
So that seems like it's.
that's like
a record
over an
for sure.
average of like 2 per person. I know not everybody
Sure,
got 2.
sure.
Some people got more than that.
That's true.
More got. Some people got less. Some people got more.
Yep.
But that's an average of over 2 per person of the
Yep.
people that are with VO Marketing Pro.
That's really good and encouraging to see those numbers, and especially record breakers like this one.
Yeah.
So I think. And then we had what's that number? Yeah, 23 auditions.
Wow.
I think that's a record.
That
too.
sounds like a record, yeah.
So I guess that makes sense when you have that many warm clients. That doesn't not necessarily that way all the time, but that seems like makes sense with the warm responses. So, yeah, and we're waiting to hear back on quite a few of those. And then we had 7 jobs, and I have Jennifer Keister, 1, Mike Hathcote, 1.
We're holding you accountable here.
I know.
That's 2.
Jack Hicks times 2.
No.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Jack.
Wow.
Noel Romano times 2.
Wow. 6. Who's the 7th?
And then Francisco, and I'm pretty sure
Francisco.
I'd say his last name wrong, so I'll just hold off for his sake and ours. But he had a Spanish-speaking job.
Wow.
So,
Great, Francisco.
yeah.
Awesome.
I'm jealous because over the years, I mean, and I told Christine Brito this too, that if I had $1 for every single time somebody asked me to do a Spanish, and I took German, and I don't know any of that. Sprechen die Deutsch, Wiener Schnitzel, Volkswagen.
Yep.
Volkswagen.
Probably best you aren't doing it.
Didn't even say it right.
That's the best I can do.
Anyway.
And any other things? We have some new people that are joining VO Marketing Pro. Not that you name names or anything.
No,
but
Joe's kind of the guru, and with regards to joining, I mean, I have some interactions back and forth with some of them, which is always nice to get to know some people. But I don't know anybody off the top of my head that I can remember right now, to be honest with you.
VO Marketing Pro is a proud sponsor of the original
Yes,
Father
they are.
Son
Yes.
voiceover podcast.
Whether they wanted to be or not, they are.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why we got that new microphone, because they're just on board. They're just pouring
100%.
pouring money. And let's see, what was I going to say? Oh, we have links.
Yes, we have links to VO
VO
Marketing
Marketing
Pro
Pro.
if you're interested in taking your email marketing to the next level.
Yeah.
So,
Yep, we got that, and we have a roster that you can join. We can share specifics on that. We have some criteria for that and meeting that, but we definitely are looking for more talent. So,
Yeah.
and like you had said earlier, the if you have a different language that you're able to speak fluently, we would really enjoy that.
help diversify
Yeah.
a little bit, because there's a lot of English male speaking and English female speaking. So if you can get something a little bit more.
Yeah, you'd really stand out on
Yeah.
our voice are there there's maybe, are there 20 voiceover talent
That
right now,
sounds
including
about right.
Hudson
Yep,
and me?
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Making me sound like I'm not a voice talent. There's 20 voice talents, and then there's Hudson.
Well, I said Hudson and me. I said
Oh,
Hudson
okay.
and me.
That makes me feel a little bit better.
Well, thanks a lot for all your work, John.
Yeah.
You and
Joe Bobby.
Demond. Demond, you got to come out here for a second. We
Yeah.
forgot to introduce you. We always have to introduce everybody because we don't want people to come on right out here. Come by, B. Come by, Dad.
Just give us a smile, Demond. Give us a little.
There we go.
There he is.
All right. There he is.
He's
Little,
shy.
little camera shy, I guess.
Yeah. So do we need
Hudson,
you
not
got
so
any-
much.
Yeah, you got
He
more?
likes to
I
see
could
his
work on
face.
that, couldn't I?
And here's
Well, John comes on and he's just bashing the talent.
Well, he knows how to work with talent because he's worked with me for all
Yes,
these years.
keep the talent happy.
Yeah, that's what he always says. Keep the
Yep.
talent happy.
Yeah.
And whether he manages my Fiverr gig
Yep.
and does a great job. And you did marketing for me for the first. You were kind of the start. You started that, and then
Yep.
Andy took over from you.
Yeah, I believe it was in this room that I started off.
Wow,
I would come up here.
so many
and-
memories
Oh,
in this
good,
room.
Great,
So many
great
good
stuff. Yeah.
I should have him do my Fiverr gig. I could use some help.
A little kickstart, huh?
Yeah.
Do you want me to do my numbers first
Yes,
or
please.
yours? Okay.
Please do.
So let's see. My numbers, I didn't have any new clients. It's been a few weeks. I think I have like 12 so far. So I'm probably like averaging one a week, but it's been a few weeks.
For this year,
Yeah.
you're saying? Okay.
Well, we're still seeing in VO Marketing Pro still with, we're doing our best to make sure that we, make sure that the times that we send out are as beneficial for people as possible. There are
yeah.
times like with these spring breaks that are happening that we do get a fair amount of out of office or on vacation stuff, and so we're monitoring that. So it sounds like that's possible with as your marketing goes. So does some of ours. So that kind of could correlate a little.
So you're
bit.
trying to maximize the rate of
Oh yeah.
who, when people are in
Yep.
the office. Just
Yep.
like you guys don't send out emails on Monday or Friday.
Correct.
Because people come into the office and delete. Or Friday, by about half the day, they're like, oh, it's time for the weekend. So they're just, anything comes in, they're not looking for it. So
Yep, we're
Anyway.
really working hard as a company to make sure that every email that you're sending out counts, or that we're sending out on your behalf counts. And so makes sense. Spring break, people are tired of it. I mean, we've got snow here again in
Yeah,
April.
we talked about
so,
that. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, sorry I interrupted.
No problem. That was good. Thank you. So I had 3 auditions and I won 1, but that was with a current client. My platforms this week were $2,831.20, and my direct email marketing was $4,334.99. My total, $7,166.19. $7,166.19 for my week.
all right,
There
would you
you
like
go.
to hear my numbers?
I do. I
All
definitely
right.
do.
Well, so I had 2 auditions, waiting to hear back from those. So we'll see what happens there,
Yeah.
like we talked about last week. And then I had 5 warm replies, a little bit less than last week. I think I had 13. So that's okay.
Mhm.
And then I did, with the person that I'm working with on Upwork, looks like I did 8 PowerPoints this week. So that's $125 for Upwork, which is a platform. And then Fiverr, I had 1 job for $24. So that's like, what is that, $149? And then I did some editing for you, which was what I do all the time. So I just add that to my numbers, and that was $120. So a grand total of $269. But I am waiting. I did have a client of mine, past client that I've worked with over the last couple of years, or the last year, because I've only been in voiceover for a year, so it couldn't be couple. They sent me a script. I sent back kind of a guide read for them, and so then they'll come back
Oh, you
and
didn't
then we'll
include
talk
that.
about. I didn't,
Okay.
but I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know
fine.
I don't exactly know what it'll be for price. But
Sure.
hopefully they'll get back to me soon, and we will. I can add that to my either next week's totals or whatever, and make sure I communicate that. So.
Well, that's great. And I don't know if you had any other questions or comments, but I don't know if we said this. We really appreciate everybody that tunes into our podcast. We had a lot watched this last time, a few people feedback. Again, if you have questions or you mentioned something, we share our numbers. If people want to share their numbers, you don't have to be bashful. Tell us what you're making if you want to do that, and where you're making it. That's always very interesting. And if you have questions, we can try our best to answer it. I'm not an expert in everything. But we can try, or we might have an expert on.
Yeah, definitely. So like Dad said, please, use the comment sections to ask questions, give feedback, whether you like it or not. And also, if you want to share your numbers, like you said, we'd like to hear how people are doing. It's not like a race or anything like that, but if there's any way we can help and use transparency to do that, then we'd like to do that. So also, if you are looking for the original Father-Son Voiceover podcast links, we have a Facebook, we have our YouTube, which some of you already know about, and then we have our podcast is on Apple Podcasts. So if you don't have time to watch it on YouTube, I think you can download it, or it's probably free on Apple Podcasts. And so you can listen to it if you're driving or something like that, if you're that interested. So that's there. Bill DeWeese, once again, BillDeWeeseLive.com for his coaching and blueprint, and then VOMarketingPro.com, and get in touch with either Joe or John, and they'll set you right up. So,
Love to hear from you.
yeah, definitely. So is that about what we've got?
That's all I got.
I think we're going to go out and make a snowman after this. So
In April.
yeah. Well, thanks again for tuning in. We hope this was helpful, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.